It's time for 5 minute activation. Can I get 5 minutes of your time? Just 5 minutes for a little activation. Today, I want to talk to you about falling in love with your plan. You've got to fall in love with your plan to really see it through. And the first step is knowing the plan. And you'll know the plan because you'll feel it in your body. You connect with your plan. It starts with what's happening in your gut. You feel it in your gut, you know it. It's something you're supposed to do, but it just hasn't gotten up to your head yet. So your gut is feeling it and your head is trying to figure it out. Does this sound familiar? Well, allow for your gut to send those thoughts, those feelings up to your heart, gain the pleasure that's going to come with getting to your plan. And that's what I mean by falling in love with. It's got to touch your heart. Also, the pleasure of it just brings some enjoyment so that you can enjoy the journey. And then after it touches your heart, you send it right up to your brain so that your brain can do the planning, because the brain is designed to protect us. And so it won't just jump into things. It won't take risks. So you've got to allow your brain to know that you've planned for maybe the worst, even though you're expecting the best. So fall in love with the plan means knowing what it is first. Second, write the plan down. You can't just know what it is, you've got to write it down. And once you write it down and you see it in black and white, it becomes more real. So I have a plan, and maybe you've heard me say it before, but it goes something like this. I am a happily married New York Times bestselling author, highly paid, highly sought after, international speaker, and millionaire therapist in excellent health. Now, that I didn't just write that in one day. It took me literally about 2 years to come up with that. It started with one thing, like the New York Times bestselling author, and then I added the speaker, and then I added the wife, and then I added the health. And so it later began to encompass everything that I wanted in my life. And maybe there are other things, and I'll add them later. But this is what you have to do. You just start, write something down, and then you'll add to it and add to it and add to it until it becomes this plan that just sits in your heart, in your gut, and in your head. Really, that means it sits in your spirit, in your soul, because your head, your heart, and gut, where they connect, are inside your spirit. And in your spirit, this plan will lie. And because it's your true heart's desire, you can fall in love with it. Go ahead, fall in love with your plan. Now, you can fall in love with your plan without getting attached to your plan. Now, I would love to be a New York Times bestselling author. I'm already a bestselling author. But if I don't become that, I can still go on. There are other accomplishments I can make. But that is my true heart's desire. That is what I would like. But the universe may have something even bigger. Maybe there's something even bigger than New York Times bestselling author, like Pulitzer Prize winning bestselling author, something like that. So we don't know, but don't get attached to it, because you may need to shift. So you can fall in love with it without getting attached to it. Next, once you write your plan down, you've got to repeat it. Say it over and over and over again. The reason why I'm able to just recite that plan for you just like that is because I've written it and I've written it and I've written it and I've said it and I've said it and I've said it over and over and over again for years. So do that. Say it early in the morning as soon as you awaken, and say it at night right before you go to sleep, because that is when your subconscious mind is most open, right before bed and first thing in the morning. And then once you feel it, write it down and repeat it. Make sure that you're referring back to it, because you might get off track. But if you're referring back to it, wait, hold on, I feel icky, because that's what your body, your brain, your spirit will do. Your spirit will say, we're not aligned with our plan. And it gives you a feeling, and you'll know when you get that feeling, you need to refer back to your plan. So go ahead and do that. Refer back to your plan so that you know you can reach it. And put everything in there. Your mental, your emotional, your spiritual goals, your financial, personal, professional, whatever you need, put them in your plan and go track it by not paying attention to the Joneses, but paying attention to you. Because if you start paying attention to the Joneses, You will get distracted by what their plan is, and you won't reach your plan. So that's our 5-minute activation for today. I encourage you to know your plan, write it down, repeat it, refer back to it. Know your plan, write it down, repeat it, refer back to it. Fall in love with the plan, because if you fall in love with the plan will fall in love with you. And I'll see you soon. Have a prosperous day.